When I started playing, there wasn't a water source on the farm, so I did add that hose to the yard. But there is now a water source all the way down here, which you can steal water from if you're that way inclined. And I might start doing that eventually. Okay. Yeah, Cavalier Roy stops by occasionally to tell me about farm upgrades and what have you, or map upgrades and stuff. Okay, so our equipment's a little bit better off. And this time I'll try and not push this out through the hedge. So I'll drop that off, we'll turn it around. So quite possibly our spraying options may consist of extending the boom on this and adding weed sensors. But not right away. Okay, let's make our tractor black again. And that has been a problem since 19. Some tractors, their settings get reset. So we had a Warrior with Redstein narrow tyres, quickie thing, and we paid for all of that. You'll see that's not costing me any extra whatsoever. So yeah, sometimes when you maintain a tractor, if we go back in again, it'll reset it back to standard. So something to be, to be aware of when you're modifying a tractor. This tractor, not really a big deal. Mine primarily because I'm not changing its configuration frequently. With something like this, if this is your tractor and you're swapping wide tyres with narrow tyres, because frankly you do need wide tyres to grip sometimes, then if the engine keeps resetting back to 105 horsepower, which I believe the small Massey used to in Farm Sim 19, that's going to be a case of very annoying very quickly on that particular tractor model. And then this is our little telly truck. Is available in the mod hub, has skid steer attachers, so that's a good thing. Not particularly quick, but very handy. It's better than a skid steer in my mind, because it has reach in addition to it's a telehandler type of attacher, so it has reach. So not only can I lift it higher than a skid steer goes, or as high as a skid steer goes, I can also extend it to lift higher. And it's not the price of a telehandler. Now we may get rid of this once we get a telehandler, but for right now this is fine. But you do, obviously, because it has an extendable arm, you do have to be careful that you don't overbalance it. It does have a lot of weight at the back. Obviously, driver's sitting way at the front, but all of the weight's at the back where the engine is. So very fine piece of equipment, and I think we bought this because it was on sale at the store. I believe this one is available on Xbox. It's in the regular mod hub. As I said, it's skid steer attachers. I think it's under skid steer, not telehandler, and much better in my opinion than a forklift, because forklifts can't reach and they just lift straight up and down, and they don't have a lot of clearance on them. So again, we have the Kubota pack. This is the Kubota equipment pack, which is in addition to the orange tractors. This pack was released on the mod hub. Not certain if it's Xbox. It should be. Basically, it's orange spreaders. Oh, we don't have, no, that's not a spreader. Sprayers. You get the Hardy. Cavernaland. Now, these were released by Giants recently. They include the spot spray attachers. So, a modder basically took all of the Cavernaland stuff, painted it orange, and said, there you go. Cavernaland equipment, or Kubota equipment, but they're manufactured at the same manufacturing facility, which is why they're functionally identical. The Kubota equipment does have a unrealistic setting. You can follow me, yes, I don't mind. I don't have any benefits for following me. It's just me, and I'm not much of an artist, and I'm not much of setting up things for stuff, so thank you for the follow. I still need to figure out why it's not replicating on the stream. Okay, other stuff we have both of these came in sales, so we have a good sized tipper and a good sized bale trailer. I did not activate auto load on that trailer, so it just does what it does. Deutz round baler, standard, just like all of the other better performing balers. Again, you look at that one, it's 48, this one is 57.5. This one is limited to 125 centimeter bales. This one will go 125, 150, 180. Be careful producing 180s because you can't wrap them with the normal wrapping equipment. Bale wrappers. This one does 125, 150. This one does 180, 220. This is a round wrapper that does large bales. This is a square wrapper that does round and square, but it does the maximum size bales. So because of the amount of lifting and carrying I'm having to do producing all the bales, we generally produce about 50 at a time, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 28. That was just one field. 28 silage bales. We produced more at times, but it's just easier to move 28 at a time than it is to produce 125 centimeter bales and end up with 50 of them, and obviously all the carting problems that entails. This is the Lizard Santana 88 pickup, which is basically a Brazilian Land Rover with right-hand drive. So we're in the UK. I need a right-hand drive car. And I use this to shuttle backwards and forwards from the house, which is where we're going right now. because I think as far as the game day is concerned, we have done all the things we need to today. So, our field was sprayed twice. Our other fields have been sprayed. We've maximised our weeding thing. So, walk over here, activate that. We will sleep till 7. To cultivator, that's probably a good deal if you're not going to direct seed. Mower 6.1. If you've got grass fields, that's possibly a good deal. Not sure I'd worry about the beet harvester unless you're going into sugar beets in a big way. I would usually not do that. We got silly in last series, and so we always did sugar beets every year, and typically produced 800,000 litres of them. So you got 10 metre mower, so you don't need the 6.1. If you're going arable, cultivator might work for you. What I've got is when it came to mowers, I have the John Deere Batwing HX20, which again I think no, it could be on the Mod Hub because it's John Deere and John Deere is a licensed product. This has the advantage of mulching and mowing. It's got a 6.2 metre working width, but I do use it in the fall to mulch all my fields. Oh, there's the fancy little thing. So if I chop that down, it would make the house go away, and probably all the hedges around it. Not the fence because I placed those, and not the doormat because I placed that. Okay, yeah, they're good mowers. Which ones are they? Actually, 8730. Oh yeah, and 3122. I think the only reason I don't go for that one normally is it doesn't have a swather. But again, that's only 25. If you go up to this one, it has a swather, so you can produce windrows straight from it, so you don't need a windrower. Anyway, it's a new day, so that's big and cheap. That's a grape thing, and that's a cotton thing, so none of those, but my goodness. Ooh. Oh, that's 24,000 litres in its base config and 39 full. So it's big. We've already got one that's about that size. Our current one was an on sale thing as well, and this is 24 base configuration. Ours is, I think, 20 on its base, or 21.5 on its base configuration. So I'm really not. It's not a significant upgrade, and this is worth almost nothing. So 20.3. So for an extra 8,000. Yeah, not a big plan for that. So what can we do for the rest of today? So these won't sort themselves out until I reseed them. And we're not doing that. It's 2nd day of September. Contracts are ton of baling contracts, a couple of cultivating contracts, some fertilization contracts, and some lots and lots of harvesting contracts, ploughing, seeding contracts. Use your own equipment to sow some wheat. Also sow some wheat. Oats. Oh, oats is a winter crop, yeah. Canola. $54. How big is 54? 54 is that one up. Actually, that's okay. That's handy. Let's do that one just because we can. Now, our cedar isn't the biggest, but it's ours. And it's a direct cedar. Now, eventually I will probably get, well, I will definitely get a bigger cedar, but we're really not doing much with cedars. You know, we've just got this one field. We're going to have a second field which we're planting in spring. So it's not like there's not enough time in the day to do something. So back at the farm again. And yes, I have noticed some issues with shed placement and ground level. I don't think there's any that I've noticed on Cavalier Roy's stuff, but again, I haven't been all around the town looking for stuff like that. Okay, cedar we have actually an American model, but it is a direct drill. A little bit too wide for the roads. This mod was modified to allow you to do a double. There we go. And fill it up. Drop the top. And optionally it can take fertilizer, solid fertilizer. We don't use it in that mode. Okay. Oh, this is not the way. And we are kind of struggling a bit up here. So I'm guessing that the field in front of us, actually this is definitely not the way. We're going to have to drive through the hedge, which is naughty. Lower, lower, switch on. Ah, stop, switch off. I just noticed that as I started moving. I thought, wait. So probably do 2, maybe 3 headlands here, and then we will turn the GPS on, set that up, and do the rest with GPS. Lease a low loader. That might make things easier. You can then just stuff stuck on the back of it, and then take it all back at the same time. Like I said, Andy was saying, normally when I set up a new farm, I set up a new farm with the stuff I absolutely need that I can afford. And the primary point in that, yeah, because I also play with seasons on, and I have done every series. But the whole point behind that, good grief, we are potentially having traction issues at times on this field. So once the headlands are done, I think we're going to be doing this field across the hill. So yeah, the whole idea with buying stuff as you need it. So first thing I need to do is harvest. So I need a harvester header, or I'll lease them. But I'll definitely need a tractor and a cart because we're pretty much using that all the time. If I can get a cart that I can edit to also be a bale trailer, then I'll do that as well because it saves one thing. There is one cart that will do a manure spreader and cart. So potentially that's also an option for the occasional times you need to spread manure. But the whole idea is to get equipment that is multifunctional if possible, and also I need it at this point. So if I'm looking for a cart at the beginning of the game, then I'm looking on the sales. Is there one for sale? So if I was starting right now, I'd be looking at this and saying 14,000. Gonna need a big tractor for it, but this is nice. So I'd buy it. The Carrot is a very, very good trailer. It has two configurations. And it does carry a lot of weight too. So I know you said you turn off the weight. What is that setting? Just as a matter of interest. I have it turned on. Trailer fill limit. I have the trailer fill limit on, so it does limit what I can put in a cart. Little hint, mod trailers frequently do not respect that, so there isn't anything there. But in-game trailers do. I like the trailer fill limit, so I use it. And I have seen some YouTubers have issues when they have it turned off because they can overfill the trailer. While the fill limit is turned off so you can overfill the trailer, you can make it too heavy for the tractor that's hauling it, and it can cause you a lot of issues. So I just leave it on most of the time. But then once the harvest is done, what's the next thing I want to do? I want to cultivate. Is there one for sale at the store? If there is, I'll buy one. If not, I'll buy one I can afford, not the one I really want, maybe. Then the next thing is seeding. And so I'm only bringing equipment back to the farm as and when I need it. And I'm only buying it as and when I need it. But there is the possibility that one might come up on sale before I actually need it. So I'll buy it early. And you can always add the extensions later, so that's not a bad deal. One thing I did notice about the base game trailers, since we're talking about them, the half pipe, twice as expensive as the class Carrot. However, its fill limit is huge. I don't think Using one, I don't think I've ever hit the fill limit. So if you play with the fill limit on, that half pipe can be a better choice potentially, because you can run it full. I've also been doing some observation with filling trailers with the fill limit, and wheat is a very heavy crop. I cannot run my trailer full of wheat, but I can run it full of canola and a bunch of other stuff. I think even barley. Barley's quite light comparatively. So it looks like I've missed a couple of bits, but again, one of the reasons why I didn't go for GPS from the gate is because I can see where I've been, and I know the seeder is not wasting seeds if I run over the places I've been. So it's just, yeah, GPS not absolutely required. Now we are going to use GPS for the rest of this field. So realism, I should do the headlands last. I should actually plant the rows and then do the headlands last, because you don't want to be driving on places where you've already seeded. And by seeding the headlands, I've made a circle of crop that I am going to have to drive on to get out. Anyway, let us get this turned around here.